Yo, what's going on? It's Fuego here, and today I'm going to be playing one of the most popular decks in Clash Royale that's been soaring up the ranks in popularity, and that's going to be using the Evo Witch in Splashyard. So, I honestly have not been using Graveyard too much, and the main reason is that Tornado was nerfed fairly recently, and I think Tornado is a very weak card. And Tornado is very popular in many Graveyard decks, so naturally I haven't been running much Graveyard, but that's all changing today because we found a strong deck that does not use the Tornado, so super excited to be running this here. We're in the first match against Moonlight. Seems like they have a little bit of a spammy deck, which is no problem for us because luckily for us, we have a ton of splash counters. We have the Witch, the Ice Wizard, and then we also have our spells being the Poison and the Bar Barrel. And something that might catch your eye as being a little bit different in this deck is the skeletons. And while the skeletons don't provide too much utility in terms of this deck, since you already have the Witch to deal with the big tanks, it does help your cycle a ton. So I do think the skeletons are nice in terms of getting to your proper cards, since the rest of this deck is a little bit tanky. So we see the E-Drag come down, and then also the Evo Megaknight. Okay, so we're gonna have to lock in on this defense here. I think Ice Wiz slowing everything down is going to be a nice touch there, even with the Evo Megaknight hitting back my Knight. Bar Barrel for the Spear Goblins, and we should be doing just fine here. Yeah, Megaknight's going to target the Ice Wiz now. Doesn't get much damage there, so I think this is still fine. A lot of times, whenever I'm playing Graveyard, I like to be a little more passive in single elixir, and then kind of up my aggression in the following double and triple elixir. So I think that's what we're going to do here. Now we just hit double. We have both of our Evos in hands. Like, honestly, I think this is the time to shine. So let's set up with an Evo Witch the back and see what exactly Moonlight wants to do here. So honestly, I think I'm just going to go Knight, because if you guys notice, this guy has the Dagger Duchess, which is going to do basically no damage to my Evo Knight. I'm going to drop a poison here as well, and now my man is in some trouble. He has absolutely no daggers. The E-Drag is getting slowed down from our poison. Megaknight's already basically dead to the Evo Witch. Like, look at this, guys. I'm at full elixir as well, so I can already just continue to set up my next push here. And so I'm going to let this Evo Witch die. I'm going to just start setting up for this next Graveyard, and we are going to be chilling, guys. Let's get this early Knight down so that he doesn't get too much Megaknight value here. I'm going to go Graveyard, and whoa, hold on. I think that was a very poor miner. Now he does not have nearly enough elixir to defend the Graveyard. He does go with a bunch of spam, which just allows me to get a nice poison. Hold on now, yo, look, we got double Ice Wiz and the Witch and the skeletons. He has absolutely no daggers, and that's going to be a good game. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Starting that second Graveyard push was totally what won us that game, and I love to see it. In the next match here, and I love having my Knight and my Witch in my first starting hand, because it allows me to get to my evolutions as quick as possible if I opt to play one of the two cards. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to start off cycling both of my evolutions. And wow, our opponent's dropping some emojis pretty early on here. Love to see that. But no, I do. Also, our opponent's running the Dagger Duchess, which is very, very nice to see, as we saw in the first game. I mean, the Dagger Duchess is super, super helpful, especially as the game goes on, because they just have such a hard time dealing with the Graveyard. I'm going to go for Ice Wiz here. I believe we should get the King Tower activation off this Firecracker. So, I mean, honestly, a great start to this match. Since we're running basically a Splashyard variant, which is a very defensive deck, having the King Tower up is going to be crucial in terms of making our defense easier. So, once again, a very, very nice start here, and I will gladly take that. I think I'll set up an Evo Witch here, see exactly what our opponent wants to do. It seems as if they're running a Mortar Bait deck, which, I mean, Bait is so popular right now, guys. Like, I mean, it really has been for a long while, but it is definitely a real thing. So he goes for the Fireball, but the Mortar's not going to lock on tower because of my Witch, so I'll probably just Bar Barrel here and just leave it at that. If he gets a Mortar shot, I don't care, and looks like he will not. Beautiful. Boss Bandit does a good job taking out the Witch. Probably going to go for Skeletons, and if he pops an ability, might go for my Ice Wiz here. Let's see, what does he choose to do? Does he go ability? He does not. Okay. Honestly, we just defended that Boss Bandit for pretty cheap, so once again, things are looking very nice. We're about to head into double. I think I'd like to get back to my Evo Witch, so we'll cycle our Witch in the back right now. Next one up will be Evo. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I might even go in with this, because Boss Bandit's out of hand. If that, let's kill the Firecracker, actually. I think that's a bigger issue, and then we can think about going in. So I'm going to slide in my Evo Knight. I'm going to go for my Graveyard. That Mortar is not going to lock on. It's going to be on top of the Evo Knight, so nice. I can go for my Ice Wiz right here to tank and kill the Mortar. Perfect. Look how much damage we got from one graveyard, guys. That was like 2,000 damage. That's beautiful. Let's go for our skeletons here. I think I'll go for my Evo Witch as well. He probably will get an Evo Mortar shot on top of tower, but I think we'll just let that go. No, the Witch was in range. So yeah, okay, so he does get one Evo Mortar shot, but look at that, man. We're still at 4,000 HP. I'm going to go in for my graveyard once again. He fireballs. Knight is still tanking. I'm going to get my Ice Wiz down. Perfect. Okay, he does go for a Goblin Gang at the bridge, which allows me to bar barrel here. Still out of daggers, so we're getting a ton of damage. And look at that trade, guys. We just came out so far on top with both of those graveyards. And it looks like he's opting to reset in the back with the Boss Bandit. Man, I just love how strong the Witch is, one. Its Evo is so good, and on top of that, it's such a good counter to the Boss Bandit. So this deck really is strong in this meta, particularly, and I love it. Let's go for our Bar Barrel here, chip down the Firecracker and the Mortar. Perfect. He goes for interesting bats here. I'm not sure if that was the best play. I guess it's keeping the Firecracker alive a little bit longer. And I'm going to go for double Evo the bridge, guys. Look at this no-skill play right here. I'm going to go for my graveyard as well. He just played his Evo Mortar, so he does not have a ton of elixir in hand. And guys, I don't think he can stop this. I'm going to go for my poison as well. All out of daggers. Let's go, man. We're getting so much damage from the graveyard. And is that going to do it? It is. That is good game. And that's a super, super nice second match against a nice Mortar Bait deck. In the last match here against 1, 2, 3, I'm going to start off with my Ice Wiz the back, and something pretty funny just happened to me. So I was opening a lucky drop in between the matches, and I actually got an emote. It was the pig screaming emote, which, you know what, I'm not a huge fan of the lucky drops. I do totally miss the chest, if I'm being honest, but the fact that I can get an emote from a lucky drop is pretty cool, and definitely a plus in terms of the lucky drop side. So that was something pretty cool I wanted to mention there, but looks like we might be going up against another bait deck here. We see the Princess and the Mighty Miner, which just screams LogBait, and sure enough, guys, that looks like what we're going to be going against here. Pretty aggressive Mighty Miner ability from the opponent. Don't think that's going to pay off for him too much here, so I'll be honest, this feels like a very good start. We are looking at a pretty good matchup. Our opponent has 2 Inferno cards, which are going to be completely nullified by our Witch. So, I mean, once again, this deck is just so strong in the meta. I feel like almost every deck I face, I have a either good or winnable matchup, so loving that. Bar Barrel perfectly hit the Goblin Barrel there. Obviously, with the Goblin Barrel, you do have to be more precise when defending if you're using the Bar Barrel, so that's definitely something to make note of, and something to practice if you're running Bar Barrel decks, which I feel like a lot of Bar Barrel users do know that, so let's go for our Knight up here. That's going to easily kill the Goblin Gang, and we have 30 seconds left till double, which is the time where the matchup is going to switch into our tides and switch into our favor once again. Our opponent currently has no damage on top of the tower as well, which is beautiful to see. I'm going to go for the hut, and we do see the double barrel come down, barrel evolution. He'll get a little bit of love taps from the fake barrel, but nothing crazy. And yeah, 10 seconds till double. He's really not put too much pressure on us in single elixir, which is once again a very, very, very happy thing to see from the splashyard user's end. Ice Wiz might get some chip on tower as well, and I think I'm going to sit up in the back here. I'll go Ice Wiz here. Yeah, Ice Wiz, we'll use our second Evo, the Knight, on top of there. And opponent has a Rocket. I guess, honestly, I should have seen that coming. This guy's running a pretty basic LogBait deck, so definitely a little bit of a miscalculation on my end. But I think we're still going to be fine here. I could even pre-poison for the gang. No, he just goes for the log, but that's fine, man. That's so much damage. Let's go. Since we were up a little bit elixir from the Rocket, I figured we could get away with the poison, so great stuff there. Let's go for our skeletons. We do have the Barbell. I think that's on the outside, right? Yeah, perfect. Playing this deck has given me a lot of practice in terms of just kind of analyzing where the barrels are from, so very, very nice placement there so far. If I want to, honestly, I'm probably not going to play too many more Witches, because if I get to the Evo Witch, he's probably just going to Rocket it. I guess I'm kind of forced to play it here. If he wants to Rocket it, then so be it, but yeah, he's really not in a position. Whoa, okay, hold on. I don't think that's a great Rocket. I think I'm going to be up elixir for a little bit now, so we're up damage, we're up a little bit of elixir as well, and I think I'm going to go in with his graveyard just because of that Rocket here. Ice Wiz should die, right? Yeah, Ice Wiz does die. I have the poison for the gang, but I think he's going to opt not to gang because he knows I have the poison. Yo, Knight, does Knight get on top of tower? It does. Let's go. That's so much damage. Look how scared he was of my poison, guys. He didn't play his Goblin Gang because he was that scared of my poison, and that's how well this deck works together. But that's going to do it all for this one, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.